Drake has been atop the music world for the past decade, and up to 2024, he hasn't faced many threats to his top spot. Besides his two beefs with Meek Mill and Pusha T, Drake hasn't faced too many challenges to his throne, and because of this, Drake has continuously dropped amazing music, creating a masterful legacy, all while he sits at the top of the hip-hop world. Or at least that was the case until Kendrick Lamar decided to come out and show everyone who the real top dog of hip-hop really is. Doing that on the song Like That by Future and Metro Boomin, where Kendrick says, "Motherfuck the big three, it's just Big Me," indicating that he is the best, as he calls out the other top two rappers, Drake and J. Cole. But despite calling out J. Cole and Drake with the Big Three line, most of the song was aimed at Drake, and you can see this with lines like, "Your best work is a light pack," and "Prince outlived Mike Jack." Now, J. Cole will respond with a diss of his own, but his heart clearly wasn't in it, which is evident by the fact that he literally apologized to Kendrick on stage like a day after he put out the song. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed by this because I love J. Cole, no Diddy. Plus, J. Cole has been telling everyone for years that he is the best rapper and pretty much nobody can touch him, just for him to duck a beef before it even gets started. However, after the events that have unfolded, J. Cole might have been playing some type of 4D chess, and he realized that it might not have been such a good idea to go up against Kendrick, because as the title says, Kendrick annihilated Drake, and pretty much everyone knows it, with it being universally accepted at this point that Kendrick won the beef. Like at first, it was back and forth. Drake put out the song Push Ups, where he basically called Kendrick short and small, but Drake also drops the clever line, "Top say drop, you better drop and give him 50. This being a double entendre, where Drake makes fun of the fact that Kendrick has to give 50% of his earnings away to his old label, Top Dog Entertainment, and he is also simultaneously making fun of this video where Kendrick does knuckle push-ups. He also says the typical "you're not on my level" stuff and calls out other people like Rick Ross and Metro Boomin. Metro, I think, caught the worst stray on that song, where Drake says, "Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga." I know bro had to be mad as hell in the studio after that. I mean, all he could really do at that point is make beats. He's a producer, not a rapper. Then Drake drops the song Taylor Made Freestyle, where he basically taunts Kendrick using AI voices of Snoop Dogg and Tupac, and basically says that the whole world is waiting on a response and that you better bring some heat. Now, Drake did get some flack for this because a lot of people felt like he was disrespecting Tupac by using the AI voice. But it doesn't matter, because Kendrick would drop the song Euphoria in response, where Kendrick calls himself the biggest hater, saying he hates the way Drake walks, talks, and dresses, saying he also hates the way Drake sneak disses and a lot of the girls Drake smashes, and even says that a lot of people in the culture aren't feeling Drake. He also says that Drake isn't really black and accuses Drake of being a culture vulture, which Drake kind of is a culture vulture, but we'll get into that later. Also said he hates how Drake says nigga, basically saying the way Drake says it is cringe. But he also says what I think is the funniest thing in the song. He says to Drake, "When I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. I believe you don't like women. It's real competition. You might pop ass with them." Basically speaking to Drake's super zesty and flamboyant behavior over the past few years, which is just a whole nother topic for another day. He also calls Drake a bad father and tells him that this beef is friendly and that he should keep it that way. Oh, and also that Drake's abs are fake. Then the next song Kendrick would drop was 616 in LA, where he says that Drake doesn't get respect from people in the culture, and that Drake has a lot of moles in his camp feeding Kendrick information, and he also had this cryptic cover art, which I would explain, but honestly I'm still pretty confused on the whole thing myself. Then Drake drops the song Family Matters, where Drake does the same old stuff, right? But then he begins to talk about Kendrick's family. He alleges that Kendrick beats his wife, and also alleges that one of Kendrick's children isn't his, alleging that Kendrick's wife cheated on Kendrick with his manager, and that one of the kids that Kendrick is raising is his manager's kid, basically saying Kendrick got cucked. Now, this was a good response, but there was a line in the song that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and it's when Drake says, "Always rapping like you about to get the slaves freed. You just acting like an activist. It's make-believe." Now, some people didn't like this line because it seemed like Drake was shitting on the genuine things Kendrick has done to help the black community. But all in all, Family Matters, Drake calls Kendrick a wife beater and a cuck. And again, this was a good response, and it might have done some damage if Kendrick then dropped the song Meet the Grams literally 30 30 minutes after Drake dropped his response. And Meet the Grams, Kendrick basically is talking to Drake's entire family, from his dad, his mom, his son, and even this alleged 11-year-old daughter that Drake has that he's hiding from the world. Which would be crazy if it's true, because Drake was also hiding his 6-year-old son Adonis from the world, and the only reason we know Adonis exists is because back in 2018 when he has beef with Pusha T exposed the fact that Drake was hiding his kid. So it would be crazy if he even had an older child that he was hiding. On the song, he even tells Drake's son Adonis that he would mentor him, which is pretty crazy. But this is also when Kendrick alleges that Drake is a predator, comparing him to Weinstein, saying that Drake keeps around him and that you need to watch any young women or daughters when they are around Drake and his team. Even telling LeBron James and Steph Curry, as well as anybody else who loves their kids, to keep them away from Drake and his team. Oh, and also that he wants Drake to die. Then Kendrick drops the song, which to me was the dagger, the infamous Not Like Us, where Kendrick again alleges that Drake is a creep and a pedo, with lines like, "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him." And my two favorite bars, "Certified lover boy, certified and trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor." He also makes fun of OVO, calling it the other vaginal option. He also says that he has so many diss songs in the vault ready to release. He then again calls Drake a culture vulture, basically saying he got a lot of aspects of himself from other people, saying he used Future to get played in clubs, he got lingo from people like Lil Baby, and that he got a lot of fake street cred from real street dudes like 21 Savage and Young Thug. Basically saying that whenever Drake needs a hit song or a check balance or any more black brownie points, he runs to Atlanta. And he even says Drake isn't a colleague, he's a colonizer. So in response, Drake drops The Heart Part 6, where he basically says that he tricked Kendrick into thinking he had an 11-year-old daughter that he was hiding, basically saying that he told his team to give Kendrick that information. But then Drake gets kinda weird, because he says he expected Kendrick to call him a pedo. Right. Right. He then makes fun of Kendrick for potentially being inappropriately touched as a child, which, let's make it clear, Kendrick was not touched as a child, but even if he was, pretty weird thing to make fun of him for. He also says that he's too famous to be a pedo, and that even if he was, he would have been arrested. But that's pretty much the end of the beef, and like I said, pretty much everyone agrees that Kendrick won this beef, and I would agree with that as well. I think his songs were a lot better personally, and he really has affected the way a lot of people look at Drake. Drake made some good songs, but not to the same effect. Plus, Not Like Us was pretty much the ether of this beef. Plus, Drake's last response was fucking terrible. I mean, what do you mean you expected Kendrick to call you a predator? Like, what are you doing, or how are you moving to where that would be something you expected him to accuse you of? Also, he really says some weird stuff like, "I'm too famous to be one." Oh yeah, my bad. Drake's just way too famous to have ever been with a child. It's not like famous, rich, powerful, successful people get away with doing that stuff all the time for decades and decades. Oh no, he's just too famous for it. Buddy, what do you mean? I mean, it was just a horrible response, and a lot of people think so too, because the video got dislike bombed like crazy, and the comments are just flaming Drake. If I'm a then why wasn't I arrested yet? Yeah, Drake, that will get Kendrick sweating. If I'm a liar, why aren't my pants on fire type response. Ha ha ha, I expected you to call me a is a wild position to take in my opinion. Drake the type of motherfucker to diss himself unintentionally in a diss track. Your Honor, my client cannot possibly be guilty of having course with a minor. He's simply too rich and famous. And with the whole predator thing, the only reason Kendrick brought that up is because of Drake's very sketchy behavior when it comes to minors. Like when he was 32 years old, texting a 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown, "I miss you."
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more."
Oh, and these weird tweets and lyrics. "I can't wait till she's 18. These kids I hang with are going to be parents one day. Scary. If Amazing was a young bitch, I'd be going to jail because I'm fucking amazing. From this nigga Diddy view, I think I see his vision too." Woo! Ooh, ooh, that looks really fucking bad now. Oh my god. If she's 16, I'm 16. Holy shit. We could have waited. I wasn't rushing. Difference in ages. You're old enough, but you're still a baby. Bro, what are you saying? High school pics, you was even bad then. Just amazing tweets and lyrics. If she's 16, I'm 16. Wow. Holy shit. I cannot believe a grown man tweeted that out. And the fact that he brought up the Millie Bobby Brown thing in his song, I think was pretty telling because Kendrick never mentioned Millie Bobby Brown in any of his disses. I think the funniest thing about this beef too is all the Drake glazers who are just in straight up denial that Drake lost, literally losing their shit because Drake got decimated. Grown men on their knees crying because their favorite rapper lost a beef. Like, bro, it's really not that deep, bro. But if you enjoyed this video, let me know what you think about the Kendrick and Drake beef in the comments. Who do you think won the beef? If you say Drake won the beef, buddy, it's okay. You have to come to terms with the fact that sometimes niggas just lose. Again, let me know what you think about the beef. What do you think about Drake's suspect behavior? And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, turn on post notifications, share this video. On a road to 1,500 subscribers. Like and sub so we can get there. Hey, I'm just saying. And I'm out though. Catch you guys next time.